what the results of Douglas Moffat's back in today. He's just connecting. Healthy Connections haven't connected yet. Mute.
Hello, everyone. Hope you've all had a good morning so far.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. So today we're going to focus on posture and exercises that can help posture, but also a little bit about what is posture, how we can try and maintain it or correct it, like through day-to-day activities. So does anyone have any questions first about posture that they'd want to ask? No, it's all pretty kind of straightforward. I guess our posture is our body, essentially, how we carry ourselves. Sometimes people might have different postural positions that kind of lead to potentially some injuries or pain or something like that. And that's where exercise can be utilized to help reduce the pain symptoms or discomfort that someone's feeling. And then sometimes some other people don't have any problems with posture, but it is still good to kind of have an understanding about it so that we know how to incorporate it into exercise as well. So often I know with my sessions, I am constantly reminding you all to kind of draw in your belly button, because that's like a nice little cue where we can actively think drawing in our stomach to help create a more neutral spine, meaning not so much, like our spine naturally is a little bit curved, but by drawing in our belly button, we kind of reduce the amount of curve that is there because too much isn't ideal. So throughout exercises again today, I'll be kind of giving you guys a few cues around posture as well. And we'll kind of have a little bit of a slower warm up and practice getting ourselves into a correct postural position. And then also another thing to remember with posture is, yes, we have a lot of postural muscles that kind of help keep that posture, but also big muscle groups like our abdominals, so our stomach muscles, our glutes, so all of our muscles through our butt and the back posterior chain all contribute to posture as they position our hips and to our spine and help us balance and everything like that as well. So today's session will kind of focus on those, and hopefully over I think the next couple of sessions we'll focus on posture a little bit more, and hopefully you all have a little bit of a better understanding about it. Does that sound all right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Any questions now after all of that? No? All good, just keen to get started? Yes, cool. Awesome, perfect. Well, let's stand up. I'll get my warm-up sheet and I'll position. Yeah. So we will start standing, and we're just going to do a little bit of breath work to start off with. So with our neutral position, it's a little bit hard to get my whole body in, but essentially we want to make sure that our feet are shoulder width apart. And you might have a little slight turnout on your feet, but not too much. And then we want to think about the contact in our feet. So you might not have ever thought about it before or drawn your attention to it, but in our feet, we should have an even contact between our heel our big toe and our little toe. So it's what we call the tripod. So if you think about shifting your weight so that those 3 points have the contact in the ground. So a bit of weight through your heels, a bit of weight through your big toe, and a little bit of weight through your little toe. So that even spread should allow your arch to draw up a little bit and make your foot nice and sturdy on the ground. Once you've done that, you might find that you're leaning forward a little bit. So you might need to shift back just a fraction with your weight so that your hips and your knees are directly over your ankles. So when we do that, we don't want to be too far forward. We want to make sure that we're coming back a little bit so that everything is lined, so it's kind of stacked on top of each other like a nice building block. Then when we're here, we want to think of our pelvis. So sometimes, even myself, I've got a nice curved back here, which isn't ideal. We want to try and draw in that belly button and tuck the butt under so that we can, it's what we call a pelvic tilt. And that's what's going to switch on our lower abdominal muscles. So if you think maybe pretending like you have a tail, like an animal, and you're a bit scared, you want to tuck that tail between your legs, that kind of tucking should bring your bottom down and give you that pelvic tilt movement. At the same time, because our hips are coming forward a little bit, or up, I should say, with that pelvic tilt, you might feel those lower abdominal muscles on, so you want to try and hold them now, don't let them relax, and take a few deep breaths in there. So that's our lower body. With our upper body, we want to make sure that our shoulders are back, and you're almost kind of drawing your shoulder blades together a little bit. You can have your arms just resting down by your side, and then we want to actually tuck our chin a little bit. So kind of go for a double chin a little bit and tuck that chin, and that's our neutral posture. So it might feel a little strange, but try and hold it for me now while we do a few deep breaths. So nice deep breath in. Really try and lengthen your spine, and then hold it there, and then deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. So just move through at your own pace there, where you're taking a few seconds breath in, holding it for a couple of seconds and breathing out. And we'll just do maybe 5 or 6 more. Trying to keep your tummy on, so you should feel those lower tummy muscles still working with that pelvic tilt. Try and keep that even pressure between those 3 points in your foot. 2 more breaths. Keep your spine nice and long, so try and reach up toward the roof by stretching out your spine. And last one. Good, everyone relax. Do a few shoulder rolls now. We try and keep the posture as best you can, but it doesn't have to be so tight or tense, and we'll just do a few shoulder rolls. So really pushing the shoulders down, bringing them forward, back and down. So getting a nice big circle just with your shoulders. Good, and then back the other way. All right, grabbing your chair for me now, everybody. We're going to do a couple of little sitting movements to warm up with our posture. So sitting towards the edge of the chair, we still want to think good contact with our feet. So making sure our knees are directly over the top of our ankles. So we don't want our feet too far underneath us or too far out. And then that should create a nice right angle with the hips as well. From here, you want to try and do a bit of a pelvic tilt and rock back onto your sit bone. So sometimes when we sit on the edge of the chair, we have a tendency to arch our back and stick our butt out a little bit. I want you to kind of rock back onto your sit bones and then have your spine now directly over your hips in a nice straight line. In this position, I want you to, we're going to do a few spinal like rolls. So I want you to tuck your chin and then slowly bring your shoulders forward, rolling your back all the way down as far as you can go. Rolling one vertebrae at a time, and then slowly straighten yourself back up, bringing head all the way back up and shoulders back. So we'll go through 4 more of these. So tuck your chin first, head starts to bend down towards your chest, then shoulders will slowly come forward as well until you can't go any further, and then coming back up. Shoulders back. 3 more. Tucking chin. Pulling the shoulders down. Up. Shoulders back. 2 left. So taking a nice deep breath out as you scrunch yourself. And last one, everybody. Nice work. Tucking the chin, rolling the shoulders over. A nice flexion in the spine, and then extending all the way back up. While we're in this seated position now, we're going to go hands across your chest, and we're going to do just a couple of nice gentle rotations through the trunk. So now twisting to the side. It'll be easier to keep your hips still in the chair. Try to reach all the way around as far as you can. Always try and hold there for a second before rotating to the next side. And 1 more each side. Excellent. All right, hands just resting on your thighs now. We're going to do our pelvic marches that we did in the previous session earlier this week. If you were there, you might remember them. If not, I'll still talk you through it now. So sitting back on your sit bones, so you might have found yourself creep forward a little bit. I want you now to draw up your pelvic floor muscles. So one kind of easy way to think about how to do that is if you were to stop flow of urine while mid-wee, that is the kind of movement you need to turn on your pelvic floor muscles. So once everybody's done that, try and maintain your breath while keeping the contraction. And we're going to slowly lift one knee at a time. And you're trying to keep your upper body as still as possible. So the only things that should be moving is your legs. Two more each side. Last one. Good, excellent. All right, resting there. You can shake out your legs a little bit. So now we're going to practice doing a couple of pelvic tilts. So sitting back on your sit bone again. This time I want you to rock forward, giving a little arch through your back, and then tilt back. So this time we're just rocking through our hips. So it's kind of like doing a little arch in your back, and then you're bringing it back. So you're back on your sit bones. You can't really see. So really think about using your lower abdominal muscles to take yourself back into those deep on those back sit bones, and then use them to kind of bring your hips forward and then back. Really try and use your tummy muscles. So it's almost like a seated sit-up, almost, but just with your hips. 2 more. And last one. Good. Nice work, everybody. All right, we'll stand up, just do a couple of more, and then we'll get into our strength exercises that focus on posture. So the next exercise is just to start to wake up our glutes and our hamstrings while being able to maintain a straight back. So if you can, try and rest your hands on the back of your neck. You might want to interlock your fingers. We're going to go feet shoulder width apart. I'm just going to turn side on so you can see what my knees and hips are doing. Drawing in your belly button, we're going to soften our knees and just bend forward at our hips. Keeping a nice straight back, only going as far as your hamstrings will run. Then you're going to squeeze your glutes and stand all the way back up straight. Good. So 6 more. The knees aren't bending any more than that soft bend. They stay kind of stuck in that position. And then hips are the only thing that are bending. So you're bending forward, squeezing your glutes and using them to drive you back up. Good. 3 left. Making sure that you're still drawing up that belly button. And last one. Good, awesome. Letting arms come down. All right. Couple of just little arm circles. And then reversing the direction. Good, arms down. Couple of shoulder rolls again, relax the shoulders. Good, and then my favorite, hands on hips. We're going to do some hip circles. So taking your hips out to the side, sweeping them back around, and then bringing them as forward as far as you can. So really trying to get a nice big circle with your hips as best as you can. So you should kind of almost get a stretch a little bit everywhere. To the side, around the back, to the other side, and forward. Okay, 2 more. And then we just have to reverse the direction. Back the other way. 2, so just do what you can. If it's little circles, then it's just little circles. If it's big circles, then go for big ones. 2 more this way. Good, all right. Let's pick up the pace a little bit before we get into our strength stuff. So we're going to start with our marching. So nice high knees. Get your arms involved now as well. So opposite hand to opposite knee. Still thinking about our posture though, guys. Even though we're bringing up the pace a little bit, we can still make sure we're drawing in the belly button. We can still make sure we're switching on our glutes and using them to stabilize us so that we're not swinging all over the place. 3 seconds, 2, 1, and relax. Now we're going to go into some side stepping. So little bend in the knees, little bend in the hips, stepping side to side. Really using the side of our glutes to the side of our hips. We have a couple of muscles there to stabilize us. Making sure hips are still staying over the knees and ankles. And drawing in our belly button. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. And last one is our fast feet shuffle. So this time now, going a little bit faster, Getting the arms involved a little bit faster and try and maintain the steady breath, all right? 3, 2, 1. Let's go for our fast feet shuffle. Still drawing in the belly button. Nice steady breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Even though your heart rate's getting up, try and keep your breath steady. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. Feel free to grab a drink, anybody, while we transition into our strength stuff now. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a thing called supersetting, where I marry 2 exercises and we do one, say, upper body exercise, and then straight away we'll do a lower body exercise, and then we can alternate through them with a little less rest time because we're doing opposite parts of the body. So our first one, we will need our Theraband. So grab your band. And what I'm hoping to do, so you can either do this standing or just grab a seat while you just tie it around your knees. So just above your knees, so the lower part of your thighs. Just tie it in a little bit. I like to tie it in a bow. Easier to undo afterwards. Be a little bit sticky, so just kind of push through. But you can do it standing if you need. And once you've got it tied up, just return to standing. So it should be just above your knees on the lower part of your thighs. And we're going to think posture now. So these are our crab walks, but due to the space, we're just going to go like one to each side. So we'll do it on the spot. So just like our warm-up exercise, we want a soft bend in the knees, soft bend in the hips, so the hinge forward. We want to think drawing in the belly button and tucking the hips like we practiced in our warm-up. And then from here, we're going to take our whole leg to the side, step together, out to the other side, step together. Now with the band is going to want to pull our knees in like this. The idea is that you try and fight the band, keep your knees following the path of your toes or the direction of your toes as we step side to side. So you can put hands on your hips if it helps. Pull right side. Keep the knees pointing out, drawing belly button in. Or left. Perfect. Excellent work, everybody. The next one we're going to do is our seated Theraband Row. So we did this on Monday. So just take your seat again and just pull your band undone. And we're going to hook the band under the ball of your foot. And have your foot stretched out in front. So it's further away from you. And then we're going to do our row. So practicing our proper seated position like we did in our warm-up. Sitting back on your sit bones, long spine, draw belly button in and shoulders back. And as we take a deep breath in, we're going to pull, squeezing shoulder blades together, and then breathing out as we slowly bring our arms back to straight. And keep repeating that. And halfway, everybody. Keep going.
Yeah.
Once the third goes.
They want to.
9, and last one. 10. Good. Perfect. If anyone would like a drink or just a little breather, that's okay. But we will move back into our crab walk. So transitioning now to back to the band around your knees. So just tying it up. If anyone found the first round of these a little bit easy, to make it harder, you can move the band to below your knees, so just at the top of your calf, if you prefer. Otherwise, just keep it above your knee. So back into standing once you've done your band around your knees. And then we're going to go into our crab walk. So remember, soft bend in your knees, little hinge forward. We're not going to be standing directly up straight for this one. Little bend forward. We're still drawing in that belly button, tucking the butt under to give us a nice neutral spine. And then we're going to go for our steps. Making sure knees stay above ankles and knees are in line with hips. Fight that bend, don't let it pull your knees in too far. Right, left. 17, 18, 19, 20. Good work, everybody. Moving back into our Theraband Row. So just sitting on the edge of your chair. Placing the band underneath the ball of your foot again with your leg out straight. And we're going to do our row. So sitting up nice and straight on the back of your sit bones so that our spine is nicely stacked. Shoulders are back. And let's do our first row. So pulling, squeezing shoulder blades back. Not letting the band just snap you back forward. Controlling the band, making your muscles do the work. And last one. Good work, everyone. So we have one more round. So while we're here, put the band back around your knees. Like I said before, if you are ready to level up just a little bit, move the band below your knees. Make it a little bit harder. If not, just keep it above the knees like I have it. And then back to standing once you've got the band around your knee. And we'll move into our last round of crab walks. All right, soft knees, bend at the hips, belly button in, tuck your hips, so tucking your tail between your legs. And let's go for our first step to the side. 4, 7, 8, 9. Keep your knees out. Don't let them hold in. And 20. Good work, everyone. And last round of our banded rows. Undoing your band, putting it around your foot. Nice and long. Sitting back on your sit bones, Just lengthening your spine, so try to sit up nice and tall. And let's go for our rows. Pulling band, shoulder blades draw together. And down. Good, perfect. All right, relaxing there. Grabbing a drink if you would like, guys. We will move into our next set of exercises. You'll still need your chair and your Theraband. And a dumbbell if you would like some extra weight, actually. So we're going to start off with our goblet squat. So that's the one that's going to need the extra weight. So I've got my dumbbell here. We're going to hold it. The easiest way I find to hold it is my palms using the kind of fat, the round part of the dumbbell. And then I just hold it at my chest like so. We're going to do our goblet squat. So this is where our tripod that I spoke about at the start of the session comes in handy. So we want to make sure our feet are set up hip width apart with a little splay in our feet. So they should point out just a little bit. And we want even weight between our heel, big toe, and little toe. So setting up with that first. Once you've got that set up, drawing your belly button in, tucking those hips to make sure our spine's protected. And then once we've done that, we can kind of start to bend at our hips first, then our knees as we lower down to the chair, and then use our glutes to squeeze and drive us back up. So 9 more of those. Seven, 3 left. 9, and last one. 10, good, perfect. Popping your dumbbell down and swapping it for your resistance band. We're going to focus on some of our back muscles. So this is where your standing posture will come in handy, like we did at the start of the session. So still remembering our tripod, so even weight between our heels, our big toe and our little toe. We're going to have the band in our hands. So starting shoulder width apart. So see how my hands are in line with my shoulders, and the band in between my hands has just a little bit of tension on it. Then I'm going to raise my hands just to about 45 degrees there, and then keeping my shoulders down. I'm going to pull the band apart, keeping my arms straight, drawing shoulder blades together, and then bringing them back together. So this is a banded pull apart. Go for a few more of those. Still making sure that we're using our lower abdominal muscles, holding our posture up and tucking our hips. You might need to readjust your shoulders. If they start to creep up, you might need to just remember to push them down. There's 3 left. And last one. Good, perfect. All right. If you're feeling okay, we'll move into our goblet squats again. So we have 2 more rounds of those 2 exercises. So swapping Theraband for your weight. If this goblet squat is a little bit too much pressure on the body, you can resort to sit to stand, and that's the exact same setup, only you sit all the way down into your chair and then you drive up from your chair rather than just doing the light little touch. So you can choose whichever level is better for yourself, but making sure we've got our feet set up, drawing in our belly button, tucking our hips. And now this time we're going to take a deep breath in as we lower, and our breath out is going to help drive us up. Halfway. If the chair is still too low for either of those options I gave you, you can just go as low as you would like. To left. And last one. Good, perfect. Again, swapping dumbbell now for Theraband. Setting up, like I mentioned before, making sure we've got that tripod, so even weight between our two toes and our heel, drawing up our arches. Arms are shoulder width apart, bringing them out in front. Shoulders are down, and as we pull apart, we try and bring our shoulder blades together at the back and let them come forward again as the band comes together. Halfway. Might need to readjust your shoulders as they start to creep up for the last 3, 2, and last one. Perfect, and dropping your Theraband and bring your arms down. We have one more round of that one, and then we'll have a little drink break. So grabbing a dumbbell again for the last round of goblet squats. Perfect, setting up your feet. I won't go through it all again because I hope you all remember the setup. And then let's going down, so deep breath in. And driving out, breathing out. Four left. 2 left. 9, and last one. 10, good. And swapping for the last time. Theraband. Arms out. And going for 10. And last one. Good, and relaxing your arms. So we're just going to finish with a little bit of balance now. So actually, I should be in a good position. So if your balance isn't too great or you aren't super confident, have the back of the chair or a wall nearby so that you can kind of just grab them as you need. But we're just going to practice a little bit of single leg balance because it can be good for posture as well. So as we lift one leg, it can be common that we start to stick out the hip at one side, and that makes our hips come super uneven. So as we lift one leg, we still want to try and squeeze the glutes on the leg that we're still standing on to keep our hips level and our shoulders level and everything level while we're standing on one leg. So like I said, have something nearby that you can kind of have your hand resting on gently if you need. Try not to rely on it too much and still challenge yourself a little bit, but in a safe safe environment and safe options. So once everyone's ready, we're going up onto one leg. You can choose whichever leg you'd like to start on. We're just going to try and hold it for 30 seconds. If you have to touch down or reset at any point, that's fine. Try and remember that tripod in your foot, so having even weight between ankle, toe, or heel, big toe and little toe. Try and think of a deep breath, drawing in your belly button, still using your posture to help balance you. 3, 2, 1. Excellent, resting there. And we're going to swap sides now. So making sure that your other foot now, your opposite foot, is set up. You can hold on to something while you get set. And timer has started. Try not to rely on something if you can, or reduce your grip down to just a couple of fingers or something. Still thinking of using our glutes, really tensing our butt, drawing in our belly button, steadying our breath while we hold it. 3, 2, 1, and relaxing there. Good work, guys. We might just do a couple of stretches now just to cool down, and then that's us all done for today. So we'll start with our shoulders. So we'll do the arm across the body, and then bring your other arm underneath to pull your arm closer to your chest. That should stretch all those back muscles that we've been using today. Good, and coming down, swapping sides. So arms straight, cross your body, other one comes underneath. You might find one side tighter than the other, that's completely normal. Rarely are we ever symmetrical, so that's why we do exercise, to try and even ourselves out as best as we can. Nice deep breath. And relaxing there. This time we're going to go hands behind our back, pushing our shoulders back, opening up our chest. Good, and slowly releasing our arms. And this time now we're going to go palms touching our thighs, and we're going to tilt to one side as our palms slides down our side, and we should feel that stretch on the opposite side. On your next exhale breath, exhale standing up straight, and then to the other side. Good, and coming back up. Now we'll try and do a glute stretch sitting down, but if this is a little bit difficult, I'll explain how to do it laying down, but you might have to do it in your bed or something next time you're laying. So for the glute, we want to try and bring our knee to our chest and sometimes even across our body. So that might look like crossing your leg a little bit while bringing your leg to your chest. And the leg that you're bringing up is the glute that you should feel stretching. Sometimes this position is a lot easier when you're laying down. You don't have gravity or anything kind of pulling against you as much. So you're more than welcome to try this when it's laying down before you wake up in the morning, before you get out of bed in the morning, or before you go to sleep. All right, swapping sides. So doing the same thing, just doing a little cross, so ankle kind of sits on the opposite side of your knee, and then pulling your knee in towards your chest. Perfect, and relaxing down now, we'll do our hamstrings while we're here. So one leg goes out straight, toes are pointing up towards the roof, and then keeping your leg straight as you fold forward, reaching towards your toes. Good, and coming back up. Sitting up nice and straight still practicing our good seated posture while we swap sides. So start to shoot out other leg, toes pointing out to the roof and folding forwards just as far as you can go or you feel comfortable. Maybe you feel satisfied with the stretch that you're feeling. Good, and coming back up. Nice work, everybody. That's us all done for today. I hope you all enjoyed or maybe even learnt a little something about posture and how to kind of correct it. If you find that you may not be standing or sitting in the right position, that might be leading to maybe some body aches or pains or not, just learning how to correct it really. So on Monday, it'll be me again. We'll revisit some posture things so that we can continue practicing correcting it and using it and everything's day-to-day activities and exercise. So we'll focus a little bit more on the exercise next week because today I just had to kind of lay those foundations of what I was talking about and how to do it. So we'll do a lot more exercise and then on Thursday you'll have Luke and he will keep going through that as well. Cool, perfect. Well, I hope you all have a nice weekend and we'll see you all next week. Oh, any questions, feel free to ask. I'll hang around for a couple of minutes. If not, yeah, have a good weekend. Thank you. Bye.